I've seen a lot of shit this year, guys. The Grudge, The Turning, Fantasy Island. This made all of those look like masterpieces. Brahms, The Boy 2, is astonishingly directed by William Brent Bell, the director of The Boy. It stars Katie Holmes, and it tells the story of a family that moves to the English countryside after an attempted robbery leaves her and her son traumatized. And when her son unearths Brahms, the doll from the first movie, weird stuff starts happening. I definitely didn't love The Boy. I can't even really say that I liked The Boy. But I also didn't hate it by any means, and I thought it provided an interesting and refreshing take on the very tired subgenre of creepy doll films. So it's absolutely hilarious to me that Brahms, The Boy 2 is everything that the first film was subverting in the worst possible way. I hated this movie. I thought it was atrocious. I truly can't fathom how this comes from the same director of the first movie, because I can't understand the concept of any director taking his story and fucking up its canon so royally. It's truly astonishing. It feels like this movie was made to spite the two studio executives who wanted a sequel to The Boy. Ha! I'll show them. I'll make a boy movie so terrible they'll never want to touch the IP again. Guys, when I say I left the theater as soon as the credits rolled, I mean I fled the fucking theater like it was on fire. I'm gonna spoil the shit out of The Boy and The Boy 2, but don't let that scare you. I urge you to keep watching just so you can understand how bad this movie is, because I wouldn't recommend you see it at all. So by now, most people know the twist from the first movie. The doll isn't actually haunted. It's not actually moving. The real Brahms is a grown-ass crazy man who's living in the walls and wants to kill people. Cool. Interesting twist. Brahms the Boy 2 takes that and then brings it over here and chucks it in the garbage disposal. And it goes, hey, what if the doll was actually evil the whole time? What if it was creepy and possessed and it killed a bunch of people before the real Brahms found it before the first movie? And then it was the doll that drove him crazy. Remember how we never saw the doll move in the first film because it's just a doll and it can't move? Yeah, fuck that. Let's just show it moving around constantly in this film. Let's just have it turning its head and moving its eyes and hearing it run around on its little stupid flaccid legs. And that really just begs the question, why the fuck didn't it move in the first movie? It clearly can, so why didn't it? In the first movie, the doll gets shattered into a million pieces. We see his head pop like a watermelon when someone smashes it against something. He's just totally fine in this movie. And yeah, sure, it's explained later that Ralph Ineson's character ended up repairing the doll and putting him back together. Fine, that doesn't directly contradict anything from the first movie. We never actually see whose hand is putting the doll back together at the end. What it doesn't explain is that this time, the doll gets smashed again, and this time there's a weird CGI demon baby head inside the doll's regular head. How did it get there? Did Joseph just have a demon baby head lying around and put it inside when he was rebuilding the doll? Why does it look so terrible? Did they spend 2 minutes on the CGI? It's awful. Okay, so if you even somewhat liked the first movie or cared about it at all, this movie spits in your face. Cool. What if you don't care about that, or you didn't even see the first movie? Well, I got good news for you. It still sucks. This is a movie with the worst writing, the worst camera work, the worst editing I've seen in a film since I started this channel. The movie is filled with all these awful, awkward digital zooms. Scenes cut from one thing to another in an attempt at parallel action, but it's all horribly unmotivated. There's a scene where Katie Holmes Googles the doll in an attempt to get some backstory on it, and then gets an entire fucking dump truck of exposition poured right on her face, and it is so badly handled that I actually laughed out loud in the theater. There are a bunch of loud, unnecessary jump scares throughout the film, most of which are painfully telegraphed or false jump scares altogether, and some which don't even have any imagery to accompany them. There's just a loud noise, probably to wake the audience up because they've almost certainly fallen asleep at that point. And I guess that's a good thing, because this movie is boring. Nothing happens for most of its runtime until the last 15 minutes or so. How's the acting? It's fine. It's not particularly good. Katie Holmes is phoning it in, and you can practically see her eyes screaming at some of the dialogue she has to read. But the little kid is good for the few lines of dialogue that he has. Ralph Ineson gets to chew the scenery gloriously in the final 15 minutes or so that's fun. Does any of that save the movie? Fuck no. Brahms the Boy 2 is a garbage fire of epic proportions. And what's worse is that it insults anyone who may have even slightly enjoyed the first film by directly conflicting with everything about it. It's not even fun. With an 86-minute runtime, it still feels torturously long, and it ends up feeling more like homework than a movie. I'm tired. This movie actually gave me a headache. I have a cool Long Horse shirt that I bought from Trevor Henderson. If you're a fan of his work, go check it out on TeePublic. That's the most interesting thing that's happened to me today, because this movie sure wasn't. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, click down there. Like, comment, subscribe. There's a Patreon link down in the description if you want to be like any of these cool people right here. There's a bunch of cool new reward tiers for you to check out. Anything from access to my private Discord server, to access to special exclusive videos early, to special gifts sent right to your door once a month. If any of that interests you, please consider donating. Even $1 would help. I would really appreciate it. But even if you don't, thank you so much for watching anyway, and I'll see you all very soon.